Welcome to Mile High Reefers. I'm Scott Anderson, and you guys requested a video on how I acclimate my fish that I've quarantined to the main display. Now, I quarantined these guys for 2 weeks, and last week's video was on how I quarantined. So if you haven't seen that, go back and watch that. I do it a little different, so if you're a little confused, go back and watch last week's video and see if it all makes sense. Basically, these guys have been in copper for 2 weeks, so they should be good to go to the main display. So I fed the fish, I gave them one last look over, and I noticed one of the Bluethroats has a little something on his lip. So I can't really get a good look at it. So I'm gonna catch him, and we're gonna check out what's on his lip. So I caught the fish, and I didn't video this part because I didn't really want to stress the fish out too much. But I caught him, and I gave him a visual. And it looks like he just split his lip open. Earlier when I fed him, I kind of startled him. He was swimming a little erratically. I think he split his lip on part of the aquascape. I think he's going to be okay. So here's where I have to make a decision. Do I keep him in quarantine in case there is a problem, or do I put him in the main display so he can get acclimated to his new environment and hopefully keep those stress levels lower? Now, it's going to be stressful going into a new tank no matter what I do, and there's going to be issues related to that. I mean, do I put him in an acclimation box? Do I throw him right in? How is he going to do with the tanks? Hindsight's always 20/20. I'm fairly confident though that what he has isn't a tank killer, so I'm actually going to acclimate him and put him into the display tank. So you'll see right now I've got him in a plastic bag. He's floating in there. He's got a little bit of QT water. I've added a cup full of water from the display tank up top, and the idea is to get him acclimated to the water from the display tank. Now, that's the main thing I'm trying to acclimate him is off of the copper into the new water, the new pH, all that. Now, the water in this QT came directly from the display tank, so it should be pretty close, but after 2 weeks of, in here, it's definitely changed. So temperatures are gonna be up, same thing. Basically, we're just trying to acclimate him to the difference in pH and to the differences in water chemistry. Should be pretty easy, should be pretty fast. The big difference for the acclimation for this QT setup is I've got copper in the tank. Now, I do not want to float this bag in the display tank up top. There's copper in this bag, right? So I've got copper in the water. What if this water spilled into my main display? I would contaminate the main display with copper and could risk every invertebrate in that tank, which is why these guys are acclimating in the quarantine tank. Now, temperatures are about the same, so that's not gonna be a problem. So the big difference is I'm taking water from up top, putting it into the bag, and then when they're ready, they're gonna get a rinse. Everything I do in this acclimation is based around keeping copper in this tank and keeping it out of the display. If it was to get in my display, it would be disastrous. So it's been about 20 minutes that the acclimation's been going on. I really don't go crazy on this one. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the fish out of the bag and we're gonna put them in a bowl of display tank water. This is clean water, doesn't have copper, but there's a little bit of copper medication on these fish, so we're gonna rinse off what we can. What they have on them isn't actually enough to hurt anything, but I am ultra paranoid about making sure I don't get any copper in the display tank. Here they are in the bowl. They got their rinse. These guys are ready to go in the tank. Okay, it's time to put these guys in. And I've had criticism for doing it this way before, but I just reach in, grab the fish, put him in. There's always a risk the fish can cut you. But we're gonna put them in, see how they do in the big tank. So there we have it. The triggers are in the tank. So that's my method of acclimating a fish from quarantine with copper to the main display. There are many ways to acclimate your fish. This wasn't really a how to acclimate your fish video. This is a how I acclimate my fish video. So take what you like from it. There are many good ways to do it, including drip, which is probably better. But this is my way. It's fast, it's easy, and it's been successful for me. So, hindsight's 2020. We'll see in a few weeks whether I got this right. Thanks for watching this episode of Mile High Reefers. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.